Hello and welcome to this short recording relating to ACCA Taxation TX UK. The purpose of this is to give you a brief background as to what's included within the syllabus for this exam and the format of the exam itself. Well, within the syllabus it's split into 6 areas, A through to F, and during the course we work through these in roughly that order with a little bit of variation. So for example, syllabus section A is the UK tax system and its administration, and we do start with a brief look at the UK tax system. However, the administration we split out and deal with that as we deal with each of the types of tax. So for example, after we've looked at income tax and capital gains tax, we'll look at the administration on those areas. Corporation tax, we'll look at corporation tax administration, and VAT, we'll look at VAT administration. Once we've dealt with the UK tax system, we move into Area B, income tax and national insurance liabilities. Now this is far and away the largest area of the syllabus and is where we will spend a significant amount of our time. It does form the largest part of the actual exam and therefore it will be time well spent. And this is looking at things like where we receive income either due to employment or self-employment. We might have other types of income, dividends and interest and so on. Part C is where you own an asset. So you might have a painting, you might have some shares, and you sell or dispose of those assets. And at times you will have tax to pay on that disposal or that sale. And that will be as a chargeable gain if you sell it for more than it originally cost you. Area D looks at inheritance tax. Now there is a common misconception that inheritance tax only arises on death, but it does arise on something known as a transfer of value, and this can sometimes happen whilst we are alive, depending upon the type of transfer that is being made. Area E is corporation tax liabilities. Individuals pay income tax and capital gains tax. Companies pay corporation tax. This is the second largest area of the syllabus, and there is a little bit of overlap between sections B and E here, but we will still spend a good period of time looking at section E. The final area is value added tax or VAT, and that is the tax that we have on supplies that are made. Very different to all the other taxes. They're based on what we earn or income we receive, whereas VAT is based on our spending habits, and we may suffer VAT when we buy things. That is the syllabus in detail. Let's now have a look at the exam itself. The exam has historically been 3 hours and 15 minutes long with a 50% pass mark, and it is split into 3 sections. Section A comprises 15 multiple choice questions, each worth 2 marks. So you might get something like a little bit of a question and then there are 4 possible answers, and you need to select which one of those 4 is the correct one. 15 of those, 2 marks each, 30 marks and 30% of the exam. Section B has some similarities. That comprises 3 multiple choice case studies, each worth 10 marks. Now, one of those case studies will have 5 multiple choice questions. So 5 multiple choice questions, each worth 2 marks, gets us back to those 10 marks. So you'll be given a case study. The 5 questions coming after it all relate to that case study, but they are interdependent on each other. So you don't need to be able to answer question 1 in order to be able to answer 2, 3, 4 and 5. 3 of those case studies, 10 marks each, gets us to another 30 marks, and we're now another 30% of the exam. The final section is section C. Now that's made up of 3 longer questions known as constructive response questions. One of them is a 10-mark question and the other 2 are each worth 15 marks, so in total 40% of the paper. Those questions, there will usually be an income tax question, there will usually be a corporation tax question, and there will be one other question. So you can see now why income tax and corporation tax were the bigger areas of the syllabus. The ACCA never say exactly what the split is between numerical answers and written answers within the exam, but we found that over a period of time it's roughly 90% numerical and 10% written. There have been both paper-based and computer-based exams running, and they are rather similar. The computer-based ones use objective testing questions, and the paper-based ones multiple choice questions. Now objective testing just means that there are a greater variety of ways of asking the questions, so instead of there just being 4 options and you choose one of them, it might mean that you need to input a numerical answer to a question. It might mean that you are given some choices and you drag one of the answers into a relevant box. Just slightly different ways, and there will be plenty of practice of these during the period of the course. The exam is slightly different in length. The computer-based exam, the real one, will be 3 hours 20 minutes for various reasons, but again you will have plenty of practice to get you on the right kind of timing. All that now remains for me to say is enjoy your course, and I hope your studies go really well.